When you hear the word safe, you probably think of physical safety, right? A locked door, a seatbelt, just being out of harm's way. But there's actually another kind of safety that shapes literally every single relationship you have. It's called emotional safety. And in this explainer, we're going to see that it is the absolute bedrock of human connection. So I want you to take a quick second and really reflect on this. When do you feel the most emotionally safe? Think about it. Is it around certain people, in specific places, or is it simply those moments when you're just being completely, unashamedly yourself, without any fear of being judged, rejected, or ignored? Hold on to that exact feeling, because that is exactly what we are decoding today. Section 1. Beyond physical safety. The missing foundation. Okay, let's dive into this. If you've ever read any relationship advice, you've probably heard, oh, you just need to communicate better. But here is the reality. All the communication tools in the world will absolutely fail if the underlying foundation is missing. When you feel emotionally safe, you can express your thoughts honestly, set healthy boundaries, admit when you're struggling, and ask for help without feeling weak. It's incredibly freeing. But when you don't feel safe, you stay silent to avoid conflict, you hide your true feelings, constantly seek approval, overthink everything, and end up just walking on eggshells. You're completely restricted. Which brings us to this powerful analogy from couples therapist Figs O'Sullivan. He says working on a relationship without emotional safety is just two people rearranging furniture in a burning building. I mean, think about that for a second. You could sit in a therapist's office, memorize all the perfect communication scripts, and go home only to have the exact same fight. Why? Because the scripts aren't the problem. The environment is the problem. The building is literally on fire, and you're arguing over where the couch should go. Section 2. The biology of connection. To really understand why this happens, we have to look at our biology, because emotional safety isn't just a feeling, and it's not some intellectual concept you can just think your way into. It is a deep biological state. Enter a fascinating concept by Dr. Stephen Porges called neuroception. Basically, this is your autonomic nervous system's subconscious way of scanning the environment. Before your logical, conscious mind even catches up, your body is taking in data, a tiny shift in vocal tone, a subtle facial expression, and it's constantly asking, am I safe or am I in danger? 1 to 5 milliseconds, that is how fast your brain processes those subtle cues, way faster than the blink of an eye. Based on those microsignals, your body instinctively decides to either relax and connect or immediately armor up to protect itself. Your logical mind hasn't even entered the chat yet, but your body has already made the call. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when trauma throws a wrench into that system, creating what we call faulty neuroception. Let's say a loud noise happens. A safe brain thinks, oh, a door just slammed. But a trauma-impacted brain immediately expects danger, thinking something bad is happening. The brain starts reacting defensively to completely normal, everyday interactions, even when things are actually perfectly safe. Now, contrast those tiny 1 to 5 milliseconds with this number, 6. That is roughly how many seconds it takes for the amygdala, your brain's built-in threat detector, to fire and completely hijack your system. When your partner just sighs heavily and your nervous system misreads it as a threat, the blood literally drains from your prefrontal cortex. That logical, problem-solving part of your brain gets knocked completely offline. You're in pure survival mode, and you cannot solve a relationship problem with a disconnected nervous system. Section 3. Destroyers of emotional safety. Since our biology is so incredibly sensitive, we need to know exactly what external behaviors trigger that threat response and destroy that foundation. Clinical research points to 5 major relationship killers. Number 1, contempt. Things like eye-rolling or mocking. It's wildly corrosive because it signals disgust. Then there's stonewalling, which is the silent treatment. It sends a direct biological message of abandonment. Criticism attacks the person's character instead of their behavior. Betrayal of vulnerability is weaponizing someone's shared secrets against them. And finally, unpredictability, which just keeps your nervous system in a state of chronic, exhausting vigilance. But we have to realize that destroying safety doesn't just happen between two people. We totally do it to ourselves, too. If you're excessively apologizing just for existing, if you have this paralyzing fear of rejection, or if you constantly need external validation just to feel okay, well, those are clear symptoms that your own internal environment feels deeply unsafe. Section 4. Building safety within yourself, an inside job. Let's move to and see how this builds, because here is the real core truth of this explainer. Emotional safety isn't just something you can demand from others. It's something you absolutely must build within yourself first. If your internal world is super critical, no amount of outside reassurance is going to fix it. So, how do we fix it? Step one, acknowledge your feelings without judgment. Just say, I'm overwhelmed, and that's fine. Step two is crucial. Build safety through the body first. You can't outthink a panic response, so use slow breathing to physically signal safety to your brain. And step three, replace that harsh inner critic with deep, gentle self-compassion. Because the more you trust yourself, honor your boundaries, and accept your emotions without judgment, the safer you begin to feel, no matter what kind of chaos is happening around you. Honestly, that's one of the greatest gifts of emotional intelligence. It teaches you that peace doesn't come from micromanaging and controlling everyone else. It comes from having your own back.
Section 5. The power of co-regulation.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how doing that internal feeling naturally extends outward through a biological process called co-regulation. Look at the dynamic here. When someone is completely dysregulated, spinning out like a tornado, but the other person stays grounded and open, it's amazing. Through mirror neurons, the calm, regulated adult literally helps the dysregulated person biologically return to calm. Your calm becomes their calm. It's not magic, it's just really cool neuroscience.
Once that calm is established, you can do the real work of rebuilding interpersonal safety over time. You do this through consistent responsiveness, actually turning towards someone when they reach out, through radical accountability, owning your mistakes without getting defensive, and most importantly, prioritizing repair. Safe relationships aren't perfect, they just prioritize repairing ruptures with honesty. As we wrap up, I really want you to take this thought with you. Peace comes from creating a relationship with yourself where you no longer have to hide. True healing begins the exact moment you realize you deserve to be seen, heard, and accepted. Not because you're perfect, but simply because you're human. So, here's my challenge to you. What is one boundary you can set today to start building emotional safety within yourself? Maybe it's saying no to something, taking 5 minutes to just breathe, or finally speaking up. Whatever it is, take that step today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I can't wait to see how you build safety in your own life.